ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं वादरायणं सूत्रभाष्य कृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Verse number 2 to 6. Sad idam paramadvaitam shashmadanyasya vastuno bhava नई अन्यद अस्ति किंचित सम्यक परमार्थ तत्व बोध दशाया. I repeat one more time. सद इदम परमाद्वैतम सस्मात् धन्यस्य वस्तुनो भावा नई अन्यद अस्ति किंचित सम्यक परमार्थ तत्व बोध दशाया. The translation is, this absolute oneness alone is real, since there is nothing other than the self. Truly, there is no other independent entity in the state of realization of the Supreme Truth. So, one more time, the translation. The absolute oneness is real, since there is nothing than the self. Barely there remains no other independent entity in the state of realization of the highest truth. Now we have reached a different aspect of the reality. This is another aspect of the oneness is being explained. Still we have studied the individual soul and supreme soul are one. Reviewing the conditions, there is no two souls. Soul is one. In individual soul, we call it Jivatma. Atma is there, and the absolute truth, we call it Paramatma. So Atma is everywhere. So it is easy to understand that the individual soul and the supreme soul both are the one. Now the question is, what about the universe? Objective of universe is very clear, very strong. No one can deny its existence. So, before entering in this topic, we have to understand three levels of truth. There are three categories of truth. Then we can understand the easily all process. The first is call it pratibhasik. Pratibhasik means it appears, but it does not exist. Like mirage, the water appears in the sand, but it does not exist. So, it is first level of reality. It appears. Patanjali says vikalpa. Vikalpa means it is in your thought, but it does not exist in reality. So Patanjali use the word is vikalpa. Vastu shunyo, there is no object, but thought is in your mind. It called vikalpa. So first level of reality is pratibhasik, just appears. Another level is, we call it vyavharik. Vyavharik means what? The water of the in pratibhasik state, the water which is appearing in sands, you cannot drink it, you cannot take it, you cannot give it. But in another level, when we think about the level of pratibhasik, it means you can take it. It is like the water is in the river. The water is flowing in the river of Ganges. You can take it. You can drink it. You can give it. So, the water in the river is vyavharik, and water in the sand is pratibhasik. The second level, our gross body can deal with vyavharik. Second level. Another two levels, pratibhasik and vyavharik, our gross body does not work. But mind can think about pratibhasik. So pratibhasik is with your gross body, with your mind. And another level is, we call it paramarthik, absolute reality, without any dependent. So, sasma das anyasya vastuno abhava. So, word is used here, it is independent. In pratibhasik state, in very first state, the object is very, very fragile. Just a single awareness, just a single awareness, it can destroy the object of first level, pratibhasik. When we reach in second level, the object of the vyavharik, it is a more solid. You can take, you can give. But these reality, these objects are not absolute. Suppose you have a chair, you have a table, you have a book. So this book, this table is not absolute. It is time bound. It may be 2 year old, it may be 3 year old, it may be 4 year old, it may remain next 3 years, 4 years. Any object, even Himalaya, even stone, even Brahmalok also, is not absolute reality. Yes, they are real, but their reality is relative. It is time bound. So, second reality is Vyavaharik. You can take, you can give, you can transfer. The third label is absolute reality. Reality without any support. Reality without any relative. Absolute. This is the Paramatma, this is the Brahman. So first thing is, and another we have to think mantra Param Veda. It says Ekam Sad Vipra Bahudha Badanti. The scriptures says Ekam Sad Vipra Bahudha Badanti. The truth is one. Truth is one. But the learned person said in many ways, in many forms. Ekam Sat. The Sat, the reality is one. Here, Yadidam Shakalam Vishwam Sat Idam Paramadvaitam. Idam Sat. This reality, Sankaracharya is pointing out, this reality, this. It means you are watching. You know, he is not talking about how far away any reality exists. He's talking about this reality. This Sat. Idam Sat Idam Idam. In Sanskrit, Idam is this one. You can finger out it. You can point out it. This reality. It is Parama. Parama means without any support. Absolute. It does not require any time. It does not require any space. Param. Absolute. Advaitam, and another word, Advaitam. Advaitam, non-dual, oneness. Oneness. If there are two truths, two Brahman, or three Brahman, or more than that, then they are fighting it inevitable. They will fight. I am Brahman. I am Brahman. They must be fight. And they must be limited. Here is one truth, that is why the one truth can be omnipresent. If there are so many truths, more than one, then they fight. They will fight for their realm. This is my territory. This is my territory. This is your territory. So Shankaracharya says, Paramadvaitam Sasma Danyasya Vastunu Abhava. How the one real appears so many. The question is how the one real, the one soul appears so many. Here, to understand this, we take example. The example is like you are watching a movie. You see a movie. In ancient time, they don't had such a example. If they had had this example, they would have given such beautiful example. So that is why they repeatedly they were giving the same example, snake in the rope, etc. So thanks to technology, science, another aspect of the appearance, we have the movie, the cinema, the picture. Very good example. Because very good in sense that everyone know, everyone is very familiar with this process. So it is very easy to explain. In a movie, one actor is playing a role. He can play one role, he can play double role, triple role, and multiple role. He becomes his father, he becomes his son, he becomes his brother, and so many roles one actor can play. In different get-up, because of camera, the same person looks very different. It looks very young, sometimes very old. And the interesting thing is, he fights himself and we enjoy it. In reality, in fact, we know the person is one. Sometimes you may know personally. You may know personally. This actor I know. This is one. But one actor are playing so many roles. And he fights with himself. So how it happened? Because of get up, because of camera. You know, the actor is one. Other three are false. But seeing these false, you can cry, you can weep, you can laugh, you can sad, you can feel any emotion. Even you know these are not in real. The realized person is who can make difference in real life and real life. But we went to see a movie and we see the scene and we started crying, weeping, laughing. The interesting thing is we are crying and we are happy because this crying you have chosen. It is your freedom to cry. So one person can play so many roles without any changes in him. There is no changes. The one personality can appear same time so many roles. Same God is one. He has most advanced camera. That the Maya, camera is the Maya, and he can take so many get. He can become inert also, not only sentient. He can become inert also. So he can become stone, flower, tree, animals, birds, and he enjoys. God enjoys. Like actor enjoy his every role. Every role. Role of poor person, role of king, he enjoyed the same way, becoming a king and becoming a poor, a beggar. It makes no difference to him because he is taking money from both roles. So any role is not matter to the actors. So God's camera is Maya, and because of Maya, he takes so many forms. Sometimes he becomes tree, stone, birds, animals, human beings, gods, stone, water. So whatever appears in front of you, nothing else, just expansion of the God. See, अन्यस्य वस्तुनो अभावात् नहीं अन्यत् अस्ति. There is nothing apart from the Brahman. Only Brahman is there. He takes so many roles. But this knowledge will happen only if Paramartha Tattva Bodha Dashayam. This knowledge only can happen when the state of the realization of the highest truth. It is like this. If you are higher level, then you can see the upper level also. Shankaracharya says, the realized person can see the actuality of the actor. He can see. That is why, if you understand the reality of the universe, you can start enjoying it. You can see more worlds. Now we are seeing just a tree, a bird, animal. But realized person can see not only tree, he will see Brahman in the tree. Brahman is animal. The supreme reality in cow, in dog. That is why in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Lord says, Suni chaiva sopakecha pandita samdarsina. Pandita means the realized person. He does not see the shapes, forms. He penetrates inside. Inside reality is one. Suni chaiva sopakecha. So here Shankaracharya says, Paramartha Tattva Bodha Dashayam. Now next one. Yadidam sakalam vishwam nana rupam pratitam ajnanat tat sarvam brahmaiva pratyast shesha bhavana dosham. See the translation. This entire universe, which because of the ignorance appears to be infinite forms, is in fact Brahman alone, which is free from all limitations of thought. See the translation one more time. This entire universe, which appears as of diverse forms through ignorance, is nothing else but Brahman, which is absolutely free from all limitations of human thoughts. Yadidam sakalam vishwam. Before enter in this verse, I would like to tell you a story. It is from Bhagavatam. Very good story. The story says, when Lord Sri Krishna was doing his Val Leela. In Vrindavan, everyone was enjoying, not only human beings, even birds, animals, even tree too, not even only in this world, but heavenly gods also would enjoy his leelas. The doing of the Lord Krishna and doing of us, the surface level is the same. There is no difference. As we walk, Lord also walks same way. As we eat, God also was eating same way. We laugh, God also laughing was same way. But his actions were not action, his all activities were leela. The only thing was he was doing just for play, nothing to achieve. So no tension, no achievement, no attachment, just play, just enjoying. If you can enjoy your act, then other can also enjoy. We are not doing any work for enjoyment. We are doing work for achievement, something achieved. So every time, every moment, we are intense. So tense. Lord Sri Krishna was doing all time acting. He was laughing, he was eating, he was going, sleeping. Everything was so beautiful. Even gods also would look from the heaven his leelas. That is why we call leela. No pressure, no tension. Just enjoy. So once it happened, he was doing his leela. Brahmaji also was watching. Brahmaji is God of intellect. We read it in previous talks. Brahma is God for intellect. And once he thought, what kind of lila he's doing? It looks very nonsensical, meaningless. Is he incarnation of God or not? And a doubt came in his mind. Is he God or not? Just a common boy. I am wasting my time. So doubt entered in his mind, but he is the deity of intellect. Then he thought, let examine it. I examine the boy. I have power. So I try to examine, but how? Krishna was knowing everything. What is happening in the mind of the Brahmaji? Mind was playing his game, and Lord Sri Krishna, knowing everything, eating food, bathing in the Yamuna, and so many activities. He was enjoying. Brahmaji was so intense. See the difference because of the mind. Lord was enjoying, Brahmaji was not enjoying. Then he thought for examination of the Lord. Meanwhile, he was doing some leelas with Gop, Their cows and calves went far away in the forest. Suddenly, Krishna and his friends realized that their cow and calves had gone far away. Krishna told them, "Don't worry. You have your food. I will take care of cows." And he went searching for cows. Meantime, Brahmaji stole the cows and calves and he hid them in a cave of the Himalayas. Under his power of ignorance, they went very deep sleep. Then Lord became aware it had done by Brahmaji, but no problem. He came back, but when had he returned, Brahmaji stole his friends also, and when he came in bank of river, there were no friends. Now he became alone, neither cow and calves, but there nor these boys. He became alone. When the morning came, the forest, there were so many, a big crowd, cows, calves, friends, but now he's alone. See the story, very meaningful. When he came, there was a crowd. In Puranas, there are written the cows were in millions of millions. The friends were hundreds of thousands. Now he is alone. No one is with him. Then he thought, how to react? The question is how to react. Brahma had put a question, but how to react, how to give answer? Lord can take the cow and friends from the Brahmaji without any effort. But he didn't do that. So Krishna expanded himself. So many forms. The cows are herd, boy and cows. He becomes inert and sentient. See the difference. In our camera can make you in so many forms, but our camera cannot make us inert. Our camera cannot make us stone. Our camera can make us only human beings. But see the camera of the God. So God, Lord Krishna, becomes the friends and cows with the perfect likeness of the cowherd, boys and their tender calves having the size. See, legs, hands, sticks, backs, and so many. Whatever they had, he had to manage everything. Same ornament, same address. Everything is so alike. Same character, habits, attributes, everything. And when the evening time, they go back and different houses. And anyone could not aware that what had happened. So in this way, 1 year had passed. 1 year, because Brahmaji went Brahmalok and came back immediately, but meanwhile 1 year had passed. Brahmaji started watching what is happening with Lord Krishna, and then he saw the game is playing the same. The goats, his friends, cows, calves, sticks, everything is same. He becomes so puzzled. What had happened? And immediately he went to cave of the mountain and he saw the all cows and Krishna's friend were there in deep sleep. Here also the same, in cave also the same. Then Brahma understood this is the real God. And the story says Brahmaji prayed God, and finally he said, "Forgive me and bring all cows, calves, and friends to back to Lord Krishna." Now another problem arises. Now they become double roads. This is a big problem. Now there are two. The two cows same, two goats same, two calves same, two sticks. Everything is the same, but in two. So this is a big problem. So this is the God. This is the power of the God. This is the way of creation and destruction. So God did, then immediately the Lord God, Sri Krishna, assimilated all of them. Assimilated. All cows, all calves, all friends, sticks, their clothes, ornaments, all becomes as Krishna's in. And by his power, Krishna, by his power, he did everything. Now the point is, these cows, there are so many, millions of millions there are written, but thousands, even hundreds also, even one cow. The production of the one cow and destruction of the one cow, one stick. So what is this? This is the godliness. This is the expansion of the God. So God was in form of cow, in form of the stick, ornament, clothes, everything. Here, yadidam sakalam vishwam nana rupam, different forms. Yadidam sakalam vishwam, the all universe is not apart from the Brahman. The all universe is not apart from Brahman. It is just Brahman. Open your eyes. See properly. Then you can find out. This is not different from the Brahman. Nana rupam pratitam ajnana. If we see the difference, so many objects as an object, it means here is our ignorance. Ignorance is working. That is why one reality it appears in so many. Now another aspect. Because of ignorance, we see oneness so many. And because of knowledge, the one is appearing so many because of ignorance, and if you apply your understanding, you will realize that the many is not many, there is only one. So it's like this. Yadidam shakalam vishwam nana rupam pratitam ajnanat tat sarvam brahmaiva. See the emphasis. Tat sarvam brahmaiva. This is the only Brahman. This is the only Brahman, nothing else. As we discussed before, there are three layers of truth. You can easily negate the first level. Second level is problem. Second level is problem. Shankaracharya says, Tat sarvam brahmaiva. If you apply your intellect, if you listen to scriptures, if you listen to master, you think properly, you will reach there. These are objects, just the outer side of the Brahman. When we see the Brahman by your sense organs, when you see the Brahman by your mind, then Brahman will appear so many. See, when you see the Brahman by your eyes, I will give a report as a color. Brahman is a color. It is red, yellow, so many. When you realize Brahman by the nose, it will give a report as a smell. If you know the Brahman by tongue, it will give report as a taste. If you want report from the lake, they will give report to you, Brahman as a destination. Hands will report as an action. So our approach is through the medium, but when you apply your mind to realize, it will give you a report as a thought. As a thought. So there is not so many reality. Brahman is one. But our approach is so many different. Sometimes we want to know him through eyes. Sometimes we want to know him through ears. Sometimes we want to know his nose by skin, and all organs will give their report according to their character. So one Brahman appears in diversity. It is not meaning there is another entity. Entity is one. Your mediums are so many. So, Tat Sarvam Brahmaiva. Shankaracharya very emphatically said, there is no any other. Because of the camera of Brahman, we call it Maya, it appears so many. It appears stone, it appears animals, birds. That is why in our scriptures, sometimes scriptures say, in a stone there was God, in birds there was God, in trees there was God, in everywhere. The scriptures are trying to make us understand, see that everywhere God is present. Only God is present. Now he is giving example. So example is मृत कार्य भूतोपि मृदो न भिन्नः कुंभोस्ति सर्वत्र तु मृत स्वरूपात् न कुंभ रूपम पृथगस्ति कुंभा कुतो मृषा कल्पना कल्पन कल्पित नाम मात्र. I repeat, मृत कार्य भूतोपि मृदो न भिन्नः कुंभोस्ति सर्वत्र तु मृत स्वरूपात् न कुंभ रूपम पृथगस्ति कुंभा कुतो मृषा कल्पित नाम मात्र. The meaning is, though a pot is modification of clay, it is not any different from it. In essence, the pot is the same everywhere. So why call it a pot? It is merely a false name. And see the another way translation. A pot, though a modification of the earth, is not apart from the earth. Throughout the pot, clay alone is present. Why then call it a pot? It is merely a false, imagined name. Now he is giving example. Very classical example. There was a pot of clay. He says it is a modification of the earth made of clay. Its material cause is earth. So it is not apart from the earth. Its intrinsic nature is earth. Without earth, there is no else. But for utility, we give some shapes, some names in a portion of the earth. So this is the example of clay pot. I am giving another example, a pot of gold. A pot of gold. Suppose you have a jar of gold. You know this is the gold. Pot and its utility. You have taken the pot for water or for worship, any purpose. So because of purpose, we make some shape and give a name in the gold. See, so after some time, you need money and you go to jewelers and you say, I want to sell it. He says, yes, okay. I will give you money, and he give you money. And same time, you another pot also had. You had a pot of clay. If you will say to jeweler, I have another pot also, can you give me money for clay pot? He will say, no, sorry. I am buying gold, not pot. So gold is reality. Sankaracharya says, Yadidam mritkarya bhutopi mridona bhinna. So the gold of clay, the pot of clay, pot of gold, it is not different, it is not apart from the clay. Everywhere, only gold is there. Everywhere, only gold is there. Now next one. केनापि मृदभिन्नतया स्वरूपं घटस्य सन्दर्शितुं न शक्यते अतो घटा कल्पित एव मोहन मृदेव सत्यम परमार्थ भूतम. The meaning is no one can show by demonstration that the essence of a mud pot is other than the mud. Therefore, the pot is merely imagined through delusion, and mud aspect alone is the enduring reality in the mud pot. See the translation. No one can demonstrate that the essence of pot is something other than earth. Hence, the pot is merely imagined through delusion, and component earth alone is abiding reality in respect of it. So, Shankaracharya clear this topic in next way. He says, in this pot, in this jar, there is no any reality. No one can separate the gold and gold pot. No one can separate. Even Brahmaji. So pot which is made of gold, you cannot separate this the gold and this the pot. Gold and pot is not different. They are same. So gold is reality. Pot is imagination. See, we say chair is, tree is, man is, building is, everywhere is. So this isness is everywhere. This is chair. This is book. So our all focus goes to object, book, chair, and we forget about each. Eachness is everywhere. This is chair. This is book. This is so. This is that. So eachness is everywhere. All objects are supported by eachness. Same in Satyug, Dwapar, Treta, today and in future. It will not change. Objects may change. Objects may change. Obviously they change. But this eagerness is always, everywhere. Now you can think more deeply. Only eagerness it appears in form of objects. Object is nothing. Object is just appearance of eagerness. Eagerness appears itself in form of objects. But we stuck with objects. We forget eagerness. So eagerness is the reality. Paramartha Bhutam. It is from Chandogya Upanishad. They are said by disciple Mritika Aiteva Satyam. The name and the form are imagined, only metal cause is the real. Shankaracharya says, the Brahman is real. The word, the objects, the name, these all are imaginations. They are not real. They appears. Only God is appears in so many names, so many forms. Only God is appears. So God and the universe is not different. As God is unlimited, same the universe also unlimited. So they are not different. So world is not different. from the God. It is not apart from the Brahman. Brahman in absolute state, it is alone. Brahman is Vyavharik state, it becomes so many. But it is only Brahman. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Santi Santi Santi